Joya Gear Performance Microfibre boxing gloves in the lace, reviewed today. Hello and welcome to FitToBox. I'm Coach Simon, and here on FitToBox I bring you all things boxing equipment, and I bring you it from here, Telford Amateur Boxing Club, where I am a full-time boxing trainer and England level 2 boxing coach. And in this gym I do the testing. Not only do I do the testing, but also the other boxers that are here get involved in the testing and the feedback to bring you the most complete review of boxing equipment that I can bring you. Welcome to FitToBox. So today is the turn of the Joya Gear Performance Lace Boxing Gloves. I've got these, it's the red and the black, like sort of like dark red metallic. Then you've also got that lace system that they've got. And of course you will remember that I have reviewed two previous versions of Joya Gear's boxing gloves, the Velcro version of the microfiber, and also I did a review of the same glove as this but in the leather. Okay, so I'll put onto screen the cards for those. So firstly the Velcro glove and also the leather glove, and then today I'm going to be reviewing this. This, as I've said, is an ultra durable microfiber. This glove it's a Dutch company, as you can see from that flag, and these are actually made in China, as you can see from that inside that label. And these come in loads of different colours, which I'll put onto the screen. And from a style point of view, I think they look really stylish, and it's great the amount of colours that you can get with these gloves. These particular gloves, you can also get them in 14 and 16 ounce. And as you can see, the main feature for me is that wrist, where you've got the laces threaded through these loops. Very much like on the leather version that I showed you before, and I've got the same opinions about that in terms of the leather to the microfiber, but let's have a closer look at these gloves. Knuckle. So that is a firm to medium 5-layer knuckle, which is very stiff at first, and it does take a lot of rounds to break them in. As you can see there, that is the thickness there. You can see the profile with the thumb in there, and you can see the thickness there as well. But that is a stiff knuckle. Thumb, you've got Joya Gear there, you've got obviously that seam there, you've got the thumb attachment in the correct place, and there is actually 6 air holes on the inside of that thumb. Wrist, innovation, they've gone for something totally different, and I always do applaud that. These, I would say, are a little rough for sparring, but they keep the laces in the tracks. You've got that rubber encapsulated badge there, which I like, so that part there is not rough, but then they have got these which are rough, and if you're going to use this for sparring, then you definitely would need to tape up that part of the glove to protect your sparring partner from scrapes on those loops. 16 ounce on the bottom there, which I do like. I would like that 16 ounce to be above the wrist line, because if you do tape that for your sparring, you will be taping up, unless you're careful, you will be taping up that 16 ounce label there. But it's a very padded, very thick wrist at the rear, and obviously that comes all the way around to the front, and you can see that arrangement of the laces as they just track across the top there. So it does provide a very secure protective wrist. Face. On the face of the glove you have got a large soft grip bar. You can also see there isn't any air holes on the front there, which I think it could do with, being as this is a microfiber, a synthetic fibre, a synthetic glove, so it does need to be able to breathe. On the front there, they have gone with the Dutch flag to cover the join of the beading on the front, and then obviously you've got the lace, what it looks like at the front, and also you've got that at the back as well. Stitching, quite a complex glove, and yet they've done a really good job when it comes to the stitching. You've got little bits here, little bits of loose thread, but as I say, it is complicated, this glove, with that wrist the way that they've done it, and I do think that they have done a good job when it has come to the manufacture and the build quality of these gloves. Lining, and they've gone with that spongy lining there, and that is very comfortable around the hand. So we've got 16 ounce on the gloves. First up to the scale, left glove 16.1 and the right glove 16.1. Okay, so comfort, let's put one on, and you put your hand through that thickly padded wrist, and that's really good protection for the wrist, and also once the laces are pulled and tied, that's a really secure wrist there. You've also then got that big padded knuckle as well. Very, very protective for your hands. I would say less protective for your sparring partner, and I'll come on to that. In terms of the thumb, nicely tucked in, so no problems there when it comes to sparring. Opening the hand up, I've used these for a tremendous amount of rounds, and they are now getting soft enough to really open the hands up, but you wouldn't be able to use these straight out of the bag for sparring. They'd be far too hard, and you've really got to do a lot of breaking in before you could even consider these for sparring, such as how hard that knuckle area is. Put the other one on. Again, open the hands up with a little bit of effort, but you can open up. There's no finger slippage either. They're comfortable in both gloves on the finger pads and at the rear of the fingernails and the cuticles. They're comfortable in the thumb, and you're also very secure in that wrist area. So for sparring, definitely tape that up, because you don't want to scrape your sparring partners with those loops. Also, you need to make sure that they are really well broken in, because that microfiber and that 5 layers of padding means that these are a hard sparring glove for your sparring partner, although your hands are really, really well protected. When it comes to the bags and mitts, great when it comes to the bags and the mitts, because your hand is really protected with that knuckle protection, and also your wrist is very sturdy when you're on the bags as well, courtesy of those laces. So let's put onto the screen the FitToBox ratings card. So these gloves, which are 144 English pounds, will go into the middleweight lace price division on my website, FitToBoxchannel.com. And they are for gloves. This middleweight division is for gloves between 101 English pounds and 200 English pounds, or 121 US dollars to 250 US dollars. So as you can see, they're a Dutch company, and these gloves are made in China, style 95 Really like the style, really like the innovation, and love the amount of colourways that they do. Comfort 94, comfort slightly down only because of the stiffness of the gloves when you first get them. You have to break them in big time. They are a stiff glove. The comfort 94 reflects the fact that once your hand is in there, they are a comfortable glove. Durability 96, the ultra durable microfiber PU. This is going to last a long time, and I really do think that they've done a good job in putting this glove together with the stitching and the lining as well. Sparring 92, so a lower score really in sparring, just because obviously of the having to tape up the wrist, which in turn covers over the ounce marker on the wrist, but also as well, you cannot just use these straight out of the packet for sparring because the padding would be much too hard. So sparring 92, bag 95, so I do prefer them by quite a way on the bag. Value for money at 144 English pounds, I've gone 96. So that comes out at 2 FitToBox stars. That is great. 94.6, and that is a great pair of boxing gloves. I really do like what they've done. I think with a couple of improvements to sort of this area here, softer padding in there, making it more sparring friendly, you could easily get these to be risen up in not only the FitToBox stars, but in their rating and ranking as well. So please check out my website, FitToBoxChannel.com, where you will see in that middleweight lace price division where exactly these are scoring. Also on screen now, I'll put on the FitToBox report card, which as always is got at the top there things that I love about these gloves. In the middle, we've got the features of these gloves. And at the bottom there, anything that I think that could be improved about these gloves to give these gloves an even higher score than what they've achieved here. But I have to say, for Joya Gear, they have, again, with these gloves, achieved 2 stars. Great. And I don't give away FitToBox stars lightly. With their leather version, the leather version scored slightly higher, but was still 2 stars. And then the Velcro version of this was slightly lower, and that was 1 star. But for these 2 stars, great. Joya Gear performance, really great looking gloves, very comfortable, need to be less stiff and also a little bit more user-friendly when it comes to sparring to protect your sparring partners. These protect your hands, protect you, fantastic. For your sparring partner, hard and also a little bit rough on the wrist if you were to use these without tape, which I know a lot of clubs out there, they don't bother with tape. And if you don't bother with tape, then you are going to get sort of that rough scuffing on the opponent when you are sparring them. So I hope you enjoyed that. Please like and subscribe to FitToBox, and I shall speak to you soon.